In today's lecture, we are about to discuss some numericals, conceptual questions based on Wheatstone bridge and meter bridge. So this is a question from 2013. Two balanced Wheatstone bridges are given. Galvanometers aren't showing any deflection. We have to find the ratio of resistance R1 is to resistance R2. So concept behind the question is, when a Wheatstone bridge is balanced, we can interchange battery and galvanometer. On interchanging, the balance point of the bridge doesn't get disturbed. So it remains still balanced. The galvanometer would show 0 reading. So in both the cases, galvanometer is showing 0 reading. That means both the bridges are balanced bridges. So ratio 4 is to R1 equal to ratio 6 is to 9. Solve it to get R1. Same way, ratio 6 is to 12 is same as ratio R2 by 8. 8 on left hand side cancels on 2. 8 by 2 equal to 4. So once you get R1 and R2, simply divide the two, you get the answer. So simple question, but please keep in mind the concept. When a Wheatstone bridge is balanced, when the ratio R1 is to R2 or P is to Q is same as R is to S, then it doesn't matter whether the galvanometer is placed in this diagonal or in this diagonal. We have two diagonals. In one diagonal you have to place galvanometer and in the other diagonal battery. So it may be reverse also. Put a battery in this diagonal and put galvanometer in the other diagonal. The balanced condition doesn't get changed. Okay, next question. In the following circuit, current drawn from the battery is, question from JEE Advanced 2015. Question is not in your notes, but you will note it down completely from here itself. So since we are discussing Wheatstone bridge, so you may be able to visualize at which point or points a Wheatstone bridge is there. If I move from this point to this point, check. Path number 1, 2 resistances. Path number 2, again 2 resistances. And in between there is a resistance of 8 ohm. The ratio, when a Wheatstone bridge is balanced, when the ratio of P is to Q is same as R is to S. Here P is 1 ohm, Q is 2 ohm. P is to Q is same as R is to S. Then bridge is balanced and there is no current through the central arm. So this diagonal resistance doesn't carry any current, hence can be ignored. So in this arm 1 ohm is to 2 ohm, ratio is 1 is to 2. In this arm 2 is to 4, ratio is 1 is to 2. So this resistance 8 ohm can be ignored, and the total resistance of this part would be 1 ohm and 2 ohm in series, that is 3 ohm, 2 and 4 in series, 6 ohm, then 3 and 6 in parallel. For two resistances in parallel, you have been repeatedly told R equivalent equal to product of resistance divided by sum of the resistances. So 3 into 6 divided by 3 plus 6. So this whole resistance turns out to be 2 ohm. Okay. Now from this point to this point, one path is via 6 and 12. Another route, this one is in total 2. First 2 ohm, then 4 ohm, you reach the other junction. So ratio of 6 is to 12 is 1 is to 2. Ratio of 2 is to 4 is again 1 is to 2. And again we have a resistance diagonally connected. So if ratio 6 is to 12 and ratio 2 is to 4. In this arm ratio is 2 is to 4, in this arm ratio is 6 is to 12. So both ratios match each other, hence the resistance placed diagonally doesn't carry any current. So this 10 ohm can also be neglected. So now we have 2 plus 4, 6 ohm this way, and 6 plus 12, that is 18 this way. So 18 into 6 divide by 18 plus 6, you get 4.5 ohm. So this whole part in total is equal to 4.5 ohm. So 4.5 this part and 2 ohm in series. Check it. As you start from battery, first 2 ohm comes, then you pass through this total, which is equal to 4.5. So total is equal to 6.5 ohm. So total resistance of the circuit is 6.5 ohm. Battery is also 6.5 volt. So current I equal to voltage by resistance, that is equal to 1 ampere. Let me repeat all the steps. As you move from this point to this point, these two in one arm and these two in the other arm, ratio 1 is to 2, ratio 2 is to 4 is same, hence this resistance doesn't carry any current, hence can be neglected. 1 plus 2 3 ohm, 2 plus 4 6 ohm are in parallel. For parallel you have R1 into R2 over R1 plus R2. So this part has a resistance equal to 2 ohm. Now from this point to this point, another two junctions, one part carrying resistances of 6 and 12 ohm, ratio 1 is to 2, and as you move via this path, ratios is 2 is to, this is 2 in total is to 4. So these yellow parts, this one and this one, both directions have same ratio of resistances, hence this resistance due to balanced Wheatstone bridge doesn't carry any current, so can be neglected. 6 plus 12 18 and 2 plus 4 6, 18 into 6 parallel, divide by 18 plus 6 is equal to 4.5 ohm. So this whole combination is 4.5 ohm. Add 2 ohm in series, 6.5 ohm, 6.5 volt battery, 6.5 ohm resistance. So current equal to, just divide V upon R, equal to 1 ampere. Next question from 2010, your notes sent in PDF form, carry it at page number 56. First part is easy, state Kirchhoff's rules, you can manage. Second part, a battery of 10 volt and negligible internal resistance is connected diagonally to the opposite corners of a cubical network consisting of 12 resistors, each of 1 ohm. So we have to form a cubical structure using 12 resistors. Very important question both for board exam as well as JEE Main and NEET exams. Question is, use Kirchhoff's rules to determine, first of all, what is the equivalent resistance of the network, and second requirement is total current in the network. Okay, so to use Kirchhoff's laws, we'll connect a battery across points A and B like this. For convenience, current drawn from the battery is taken to be 6I, which you will come to know later. Why 6I? We have 3 equal paths and this is a junction, so current 6I would get divided into 2I, 2I, 2I each. All the paths are equal. Each 2I further gets divided into I and I, here too I and I, and this current 2I again into I and I. Next junctions, point C, current I is coming this way and current I is reaching this way, total current 2I. Same way I is coming this way, another I coming this way, current total 2I. And similar arguments, this current is also 2I, 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 2I add up as 6I, and total current battery to battery is negative is again 6I. Okay, so I think you have managed to understand why 6I, because if you take I, then it should be I by 3, I by 3, I by 3, then I by 6, which would be difficult to manage. So 6I is an easy way to manage the problem. Okay, so now see the beauty of Kirchhoff's rules. This question appears to be very complicated, but Kirchhoff's rules would make it very easy. So let's move from battery to through these three resistors, or you can choose any other path also, to the negative of the battery. So current gets equally divided in similar paths. That was the basic concept behind the answer. The current which is coming from this point is equally divided into all the paths, similar paths. Okay, now since total current from the battery is 6I and resistance of this part is equal to, say, equal to R. So voltage as given is 10 volt, 10 volt potential difference, 6I into R, 6I is current. If R is the total resistance, then 6I into R should be equal to V according to Ohm's law. So we have to solve for I first of all. What is I equal to? So we'll apply Kirchhoff's rule in the loop. You can choose any loop, of course. Now we are moving along A dash, B dash, C dash and back to A. So when you go this way, you are moving along the current. So this is one of the ways to write. If you are moving along the current, you can choose the positive sign here. So 2I into 1 ohm. Each resistance is 1 ohm. Or you can choose opposite. There are two ways, two methods given in the books. One is when you move along the current, take positive sign. And when you come across batteries negative, take negative sign first. Another way, as you move along the current, take negative sign, and as you approach batteries negative, take positive sign. Both are correct. In this question, as you move along the current, negative sign. Okay, so 2I into 1 ohm, then I into 1 ohm, then 2I into 1 ohm. Each term should be negative, or you can go opposite as told in the video by me. Both are correct, no doubt. Okay, so if you have changed signs, that means if you approach negative of the battery, you have to write plus 10 volt equal to 0, solve it, or you may write as usual. Both are correct. Some books have taken direction of current as negative. Some books have taken direction of current as positive. Let me write it in other way also. As you move from A to A dash, plus 2I into 1. As you move from A dash to B dash, then current is I positive into 1 ohm. As you move from B dash to C, again current is 2I into 1 ohm. And as you approach battery, you reach negative first, you may write minus 10 equal to 0. Both equations are exactly same. You can follow this one or you can follow this one. 2I plus I plus 2I equal to 5I. 5I, 10 taken to the right hand side. So you get current in the circuit equal to 2 ampere. If current is 2 ampere, please see this equation. Current is 2 ampere, 2 into 6 into R is equal to 10. 2 into 6 into R equal to 10. So very easy now, you can get the value of R. So R turns out to be 5 by 6 ohm. So I have done by both the methods. This is given in some books. This is also correct. Or you can take direction of current to be positive as written here. Direction of current to be positive, direction of current to be positive. Write each I into R, I into R, I into R. And lastly, if battery's negative comes first, then negative sign of the EMF. Positive comes first, positive sign. So you have to follow either of the two notations, both are correct. Final answer is going to be same. Hope I have made you clear everything. So current was taken to be 6 ampere because it is to be divided first into 3 equal parts and then secondly in 2 equal parts. Hence 6I was the best option to choose. So I am removing the extra ink and you can note down by pausing the video. Okay, next is a question from 2014 and 2019, concept based question. Why are connections between resistors in a meter bridge made up of thick copper strips? So question is, why are these connecting portions are made up of thick copper strips? So answer very simple. We need resistances only here. We need a resistance here. We need a resistance of the wire which was divided into two resistances through the jockey P and Q. But we don't need any resistance in this part. So you know resistance R is equal to rho up into L by A. Resistance R equal to rho into L by A. So we have made all the efforts to minimize the resistance of this portion. How? We have taken copper. Copper means resistivity would be very small. Length is beyond our control. Length is whatever length is there. And we have taken area to be by making the increasing the thickness. Area has been increased. If area is increased, that means resistance decreases. So to decrease the resistance of this part to nearly zero, so that we have to handle only the resistances connected in left gap, right gap only. There shouldn't be any other resistance. So the connections are made through thick copper strips. I think concept is clear. Extra ink is removed. Okay. So connections are made up of thick copper wires to minimize the resistance of connecting wires, because connection resistance is not accounted for in the formula. जो हमने formula use किया है P by Q equal to R by S. That formula doesn't contain resistances of the connections. So to keep resistance low, we have to keep area large. Second question, why is it generally preferred to obtain balance point in the middle of the meter bridge wire? So the length of the wire is 1 meter. We try to keep the balance point between 40 centimeter and 60 centimeter. Very simple reason. Since we use both the lengths, right hand side part 100 minus L, left hand side part L. So if this length is somewhere like 50 centimeter, that would be the best one. So rightmost part would also be equal to 50 centimeter. You know errors. The scale used in meter bridge is ordinary scale with least count of 1 millimeter or 0.1 centimeter. So I can write plus minus 0.1 here. I can write plus minus 0.1 here. If it happens that this length comes out to be only 1 centimeter, 1 plus minus 0.1, then percent error, which is equal to 0.1 by 1 into 100, that would turn out to be 10%, which is very large error. But if it is 50 centimeter, 0.1 by 50 into 100, so you can calculate easily, equal to cancels with 2, 2 into 0.2, error of 0.2% only, which is fairly manageable, acceptable. So to decrease the error in calculation, you can note it down, this part also. To decrease the error in the calculation, we generally prefer that both lengths 100 minus L and L. Since total length is 100 centimeter, we have to divide it into two parts, L and 100 minus L. So best way of dividing is that both the parts get maximized, that is 50 centimeter, 50 centimeter. So balance point must be obtained in the middle region of the meter bridge wire, that is 40 centimeter to 60 centimeter, to minimize the error. So this is the reason. To decrease the error in measured value of unknown resistance, the balance point is taken to be near the middle of the wire. So I am erasing the extra ink. Those who want to note down, please pause the video and note down. Okay, so the purpose is to decrease the error. Okay, last part, which material is used for meter bridge wire and why? So I told you, you must have P and Q resistances which we are getting from 1 meter length of the meter bridge wire. So the wire should be manganese, or another name told was Constantan. Reason being their temperature coefficient is very low. As a result, if the wire gets heated up due to the current flowing in the wire, due to increase in temperature, resistance or resistivity doesn't change appreciably. So that is the reason why we should use manganese or Constantan, whose resistance doesn't increase appreciably with increase in temperature. Okay, this is a question from Delhi CBSE exam 2010. In a meter bridge, the null point is found at a distance of 40 centimeter from point A. When a resistance of 12 ohm is connected with S, shunt word is used. Okay, if shunt word is written, shunt means parallel. Please take care. Shunt means our resistance is connected in parallel, not written in this question, but be careful. Shunt means our resistance in parallel. So question is, if the unknown resistance S is connected across a 12 ohm additional resistance, then balance point occurs at 50 centimeter from point A. Determine the values of R and S. So you got the question. When 12 ohm wasn't there, balance point was at 40 centimeter. When 12 ohm is also connected in parallel across S, balance point shifts to 50 centimeter. So question is, find both R and S. So when bridge is balanced, the ratio of resistances in upper gaps is same as resistances P and Q, which is equal to ratio of lengths in the lower arm. So ratio R is to S. R is to S equals L by 100 minus L. Ratio R is to S is same as L is to 100 minus L. But L is given to be 40 centimeter. Substitute. Find the ratio. Okay. When a 12 ohm resistance is connected in parallel means these two would result into a resistance equal to R1 into R2, check it, divide by R1 plus R2. So now in the left gap or right gap, combination of these two resistances equal to new balance point length divide by this part. Ratio left is to right is equal to ratio left is to right. So now L is equal to 50 centimeter given. 50 upon 100 minus 50 is 50/50, that is equal to 1. So if I take this denominator to right hand side, check it, you get R equal to S into 12 upon 12 plus S. So this was equation 1. Take again S to right hand side, R is equal to 2 by S, 2 by 3 into S. Equation 1 and equation 2 would have same left hand side, that means right hand side would also be equal. Equating right hand sides, S cancels, 2 cancels with 12 as 6. So 12 plus S on left hand side and 3 into 6, that is 18 on right hand side. Take this 12 to right hand side, remaining is mathematics. You got S, substitute for S here, you get R. So once again, when 12 ohm wasn't there, R is to S would have same ratio as L is to 100 minus L. Solve it. When a 12 ohm is connected across S, the new resistance in the right gap becomes S into 12 upon S plus 12. Again ratio R is to this resistance is equal to L by this length, 100 minus L. Put the values, equate left hand side are same, hence right hand sides are equal. Solve, you get the value. A question from recent year 2019, page 59 on your notes. Find the potential difference across 4 ohm resistance due to these two cells using Kirchhoff's rules. So simple, potential difference would be equal to V equal to I into R, Ohm's law. So we basically need what is the current flowing through this part, that is current between E and F. So using Kirchhoff's laws, this is positive of the battery, say a current I1 begins this way, another positive of the battery, let us say current is I2. These two currents are reaching point D, I1 and I2. So one current must leave point D as I1 plus I2, which is Kirchhoff's junction rule. Total current arriving at a point is equal to total current leaving that point. This current continues at I1 plus I2 here also and gets divided back into I1 here and I2 here. Okay, we have two unknowns, I1 and I2. So we need two equations to solve it. So here current is going from plus to minus. Here current is going from plus to minus, current is going from plus to minus. Okay, along the loop A, D, C, B, A. Apply loop rule. When you move along the loop, if battery appears first, plus 6. If you are moving opposite to the direction of current, minus sign, minus I2 into 1 ohm, and when you are moving along the current, positive sign, 2I1, battery's negative appears first, minus sign, minus 8, loop completed equal to 0. So you can write 2I1 minus I2, these two sum up as minus 2, taking it to right hand side becomes plus 2. 2I1 minus I2 minus 8 plus 8 plus 6 udhar jaake minus 6. So you get the equation simplified. Now let us apply loop rule to D, E, F, C, D. Going along the current, positive, 4i1 plus i2. Going along the current, again positive, 1 into i2. Battery is negative first, minus 6 equal to 0. 4i1, i2s are 4i2 plus 1 more i2, that is 5i2, minus 6 on right hand side equal to 6. So second equation, just solve these two, that is up to you, you can manage yourself also. This equation contains 2i1, this contains 4i1. To cancel i1, you can multiply equation 1 with 2. So 4i1 minus 2i2 equal to 4. Subtract equation 3 from equation 2, change the signs, minus plus minus, 4i1 cancel. 5i2 plus 2i2, 7i2. 6 minus 4 equal to 2, so i2 is 2 by 7. Substitute for i2 anywhere to get i1 also. That is up to you, you can manage now. And current through 4 ohm resistance is i1 plus i2. Just add the two, you get 10 by 7. And you required potential difference across 4 ohm. So current is there. Just multiply with resistance, use V equal to IR, and answer is there. 5.7 volt. That was all for today's lecture. Hope you enjoyed. Please like the video, share the video, and subscribe the channel. Your likes, shares, subscribes are boost for the teacher. You can ask for your choice video in comment box. Thank you for watching.